Okay, I've created a new layer, so I have this image laying on top of my original image. I can start manipulating this, adjusting it, doing whatever the heck I want to do with it. But never work on an unsaved file. Whenever you create a new layer, you have to save this thing as a PSD Photoshop document. Okay, so go File, Save As, and change the file name to whatever you want. My cat's name is Zach, one of them anyway. And the format you're going to choose, make sure it's Photoshop.psd. That's what you want. Save. Just save the defaults. Okie doke. So now we can adjust this image. First of all, let me show you like the amateur's way to do this, and then I'll show you the correct way. Let's say I want to adjust the brightness and contrast of this image. One way is to have the layer I'm going to work on enabled, which it is. Go to Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to adjust brightness and contrast, because that's the simplest thing to do. Let's say I want the contrast. Let me move it over here so we can see it better. I want to increase the contrast, so I'll just move the slider, and you can see that the darks become darker, the brights become a little bit brighter. If I increase the brightness, see how everything starts to get blown out, all the highlights get blown out. So let's just say that I want the, I'll just move these sliders, and optically I'll figure out, okay, I really like that. That's wonderful. Click OK. Alright, well that's okay to do it that way. It's not the way a professional would do it though, and it's not recommended. Because what we did was I adjusted the brightness contrast of this entire image on this layer, and I really can't go back and edit it. If I want to revert back to what it was before, the only recourse I have is to delete this layer, copy the background layer again, and just do it all over again. Very inefficient. So let me, I'm going to step backwards to go back to what I had before. So here's something you might use a lot. Click File, and then if I hit Revert, it's going to revert to the last saved version. Okay, so be very careful with this. So like I don't like all the changes I made, since I know I want to revert to the last saved version, so I click Revert, and here I am back to the original brightness and contrast. Okay, so how do you adjust anything? What you want to do is add an adjustment layer to this, and it's really simple. Come over to the Layers palette. If we look at all the icons down here, the trash can will delete the layer. I'm sorry, we'll delete the layer. This we saw already before. We create a new layer. Don't worry about this one right now, but this like half black, half white circle, create adjustment layer. If I hit the drop-down menu, I have a lot of options available to me, but let's choose brightness and contrast again, and I choose that because it's the easiest to understand. So I'm hitting the drop down menu here, choosing brightness and contrast. Now a couple things happen. This adjustment window will come up, and also added on top of my layer is this funny looking thing, and you can see it says brightness contrast. So let me again adjust the contrast. Let me crank the contrast way up just like I did before, and I can adjust the brightness to whatever I want. I'm just going to make it something really stupid so it's very apparent. Okay, and I like that. Okay, good. Now here's what's nice about this. Now I can close this. I'm done adjusting. Now if I look here, here's the adjustment layer. All the information for those adjustments are being held here. The image wasn't distorted or damaged in any way. So if I don't like this anymore, all I have to do is click on the eyeball of my adjustment layer, and it goes back to the original. Okay. The other thing is, this is what's really great about this. Suppose I want to, I don't like the, I decide the next day, okay, I don't like this, I want to mess around with the brightness contrast settings again. If I hover over the adjustment layer, right click, I can choose edit adjustment, and this comes up, and now see it preserved these settings, so I can I can change things. I can change the settings to whatever I want, to whatever I'm happy with, and then when I'm done, all I gotta do is close the window. And this is always available to me. I can always right click, I can always edit adjustment. If I'm really, I can turn off the adjustment by turning off the eyeball to see the original image. I can like grab this entire thing. Let's say I'm fed up with it. I can grab the entire adjustment layer, click, hold, and drag it into the trash can, and delete it. And now there's no adjustment layer. So to sum up, have the layer that you want to work on enabled. Hit the drop-down menu next to this black-white circle. There's many ways to adjust imagery in Photoshop. For us, I'm not going to cover all these in this introductory series. You'll learn them as you go along doing different exercises.